So in today's podcast, we're talking about a restaurant that's opened a new cafe for tasty treats. Over to you, Chuka.
So McDonald's have opened up a new restaurant called Cosmcs. It's going to be a rival to Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts and restaurants of that nature. So at the moment, it's a drive-through restaurant and it offers loads of treats. So we'll go through those in a bit. Okay, so a few stats. They're planning to open up 10 in America. The first place it's been rolled out to is a place that's close to the headquarters. So the first restaurant they opened up is in Illinois, in America. So if the trial is successful, they're looking to roll that out to nationwide in America and then also in Europe and also in China as well, which is apparently a growing market in restaurants and so on. So what are your first thoughts on the Cosmcs restaurant?
So on the one hand, I think it kind of makes sense for McDonald's to open up this new franchise. However, I guess we'll go through the menu in a second, but I guess some of the items that they'll be offering, they already offer at normal McDonald's under their Mccafe brand. So on the one hand, it sort of thinks, what's the need to sort of open up a separate franchise? But then again, I guess McDonald's restaurants tend to be quite large, whereas if this is going to be rivaling Starbucks, it can be quite small. It can be a lot smaller. And one of McDonald's key things that they do is focus on real estate. I think they make a lot of money on real estate, and therefore it enables them to also purchase smaller units because cafes don't tend to be super large. So on the one hand, it could be smart. And also, I guess when you think of McDonald's, you more so think of burgers, fries, milkshakes, ice drinks. You don't necessarily think of, coffees and things of that nature. So this, I guess, gives them more reach, because if you're going to Cosmcs, you're going there specifically for their coffee-based drinks, I guess, and their sort of breakfast savouries, etc. What were your initial thoughts?
Well, I was struggling to even say the name. I keep saying McCoy's and...
Yeah, it does kind of look like a brand of chips in the UK called McCoy. Is it McCain's?
McCain's
chips.
Yeah, the branding, yeah. It does look like McCain chips, yeah. The branding. I think the initial thoughts, it was just a bit bizarre. I think with the Mccafe, Mccafe is already there. So I'm kind of thinking, why don't you just call it Mccafe? But yeah, apparently it's to do with part of their branding from before. There was a mascot that they used to have, and apparently it surrounds that idea of being out of space and stuff like that. It's something they used to do in the 80s anyway, back in the day. So apparently that's where the idea came from. It's an interesting idea. I think it will be interesting to see how it does. So far, the feedback that I have seen so far has been generally positive, although maybe that might be skewed because, quite a few of the people that have gone have been quite, they're really in there. They really love McDonald's. So yeah, so pinch of salt with that one. But so far, the review so far has been positive. It is, at the moment, it is a drive-through only. So you're not able to actually go inside. So we've not actually seen what the inside looks like. And on the first day, people were apparently waiting for 3-4 hours. Yeah, there's in a long, I don't know if that's because of the queue or if it was just long. I'm not sure.
Oh, the staff might have been the processes might not have been up to scratch.
Yeah, they might not have, got the processes up to scratch. But apparently there was a lot of people. So I don't know is it more because of there were so many people or is it more because of the process? I'm not sure. But they had a few issues, it sounds like.
So what do you think are some of the pros and cons of the name they've chosen? So you did say, for example, they have a Mccafe line. They could have chosen to make these restaurants be called Mccafe, but instead they chose Cosmcs. I guess when you see Cosmcs, you don't immediately think McDonald's. You think some of the pros and cons of that are. I know you mentioned this out of space thing they had in the past, but I think most people wouldn't be aware of that.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah, unless they're really super fans. I think what are the pros and cons? Maybe the pro is that, I suppose, the attention. So it's got a lot of attention from the press and a lot of attention in general from, a lot of, people that really love the brand. So I guess if they opened up another Mccafe, it'd probably be a shrug of the shoulder, another Mccafe, okay. So what kind of thing? But with this, calling it a new name, I suppose it can get more attention that way. Could be. So maybe a publicity kind of thing is what they were going for, is what I'm thinking. What do you think?
I think on the one hand, so the way it's spelt, I think the Cosmcs, I think it's the MC.
You're definitely right about that McCain oven chips thing. It definitely does. That's clearly where or maybe that's where the designers got the idea from. I don't know.
Controversial one.
Yeah, that's what it definitely looks similar to that kind of branding. Yeah. Yeah,
because usually McDonald's with their branding, even when they have new products, they put the Mc at the front. So McFlurry, McFlurry, I don't know what they have, McMuffin. So McFlurry, McMuffin, etc. But this time they put the Mcs at the end. I think perhaps they are consciously trying to slightly differentiate themselves as well. from McDonald's restaurant to show that this isn't, another McDonald's restaurant. This is slightly separate. And maybe it can also attract people that typically wouldn't go into a McDonald's because they think all greasy Big Mac, they sort of think is a bit unhealthy. But they would, that sort of customer would potentially go into like a Starbucks or a Costa or a Pret.
That's actually a good point.
Yeah, so they don't want to put those customers off. They want people to look at it with fresh eyes. Like you said, it will garner attention because it's not just, Mccafe. People might just assume, that already exists. This is something separate. So maybe that's also their benefit as well. It's looked at as a sister brand to McDonald's as opposed to just an extension of the same thing. Because some people do have negative connotations. But then for the people that do love McDonald's, they also are aware that it's a McDonald's brand. So it kind of enables you to not alienate as many people, perhaps.
Yeah, best of both worlds. Yeah, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Let's have a look at the menu. Let's have a look at some items from the menu. So some of the things on the Cosmc menu. So they got something called a signature galactic boost.
What the heck is that?
It's sour cherry energy burst. It sounds like a cherried flavored slush effectively. So they got different flavors of slushes. So they got slushes, iced teas, lots of different flavors. So tropical lemonade, berry, blackberry lemonade. So loads of iced teas, frappes, chai frappes, or churro frappes. I know frappes were super popular for McDonald's in the UK in particular. I don't know for the other countries, but certainly in the UK it was very popular. They got lattes, cappuccinos. Okay, so hot chocolate, so your normal of those. Iced lattes again, iced coffee. So a lot of iced products. Then they've got your staples from McDonald's. So Egg McMuffin, they got Oreo McFlurry, M&M McFlurry, and then they got some sandwiches and then they got like a range of sandwiches. And then they've got, what else do they got here? Okay, they got cookie butter McPops. So it looks like they got small donuts, different flavored donuts, but like a very, very small version. Then they got some baked goods as well, some cookies as well. So they got a range of treats. Oh, they've also got ice cream sundaes. So I would say it's largely iced beverages, slushes, sundaes, milkshakes. It's that kind of thing. They've got a few treats as well. So it's mainly the treats, and then they've got some sandwiches. I would imagine as time goes on, they will increase the offers, things that are on offer. The interesting one is the Egg McMuffin. I wonder if that's going to be available the whole day, because we know in London or in the UK that tends to close at 11 a.m. in the morning. They've got like a hard stop. So even if you come like 10 past 11, like, no, we don't do it anymore. So I wonder if they will keep that the whole day, which will be interesting. I imagine a lot of people would like that if it was.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd imagine that it would be available all day.
Yeah. So it looks like something that's more of like maybe like a dessert stop, or like snacks if you want a dessert or snacks. Looks like the place to go.
No, it's a coffee shop. No, it's like a coffee shop.
Or is that just normal coffee? Because it seems more focused on the lattes and the iced stuff rather than... Oh, why do you think that they sell more iced drinks than...
I think...
Because it's supposed to be competing with Starbucks, isn't it? So
a lot of coffee shops do have an iced drinks menu as well. I think with regards to this menu, of course, like you said, they're testing this out in the US, where the weather tends to be a lot warmer. So I think more people would opt for iced drinks in warmer climates. And then also, I think hot teas are more commonplace in the UK. I think we're more used to having hot teas. I think in other places particularly in the US where they're testing Cosmcs, I think they're more used to having iced teas as well, or very cold teas. And I think another reason is you're more likely to probably have a nice cold sweet drink many times throughout the day, rather than, a hot drink. You might just have it once in the morning or so to kind of give you like an energy boost, kind of give you a hit of caffeine to wake you up. But if you're having sort of sweet teas, frappes, iced milkshakes, things of that nature, you're probably more likely to have that, throughout the day, especially as it's a drive-through. As you're driving around, you might just pull in and get yourself a nice drink. So I think probably for those reasons, they have, those more of those sort of iced drinks on the menu. I think, yeah. And also I think they appeal to like a large section of the population. I think some coffees, like an espresso, might appeal more so to like a working population, whereas something like a frappuccino, I think it appeals to sort of children, teenagers, as well as, everyone else, because it's quite a sweet drink.
That makes sense. In terms of the climate making a difference there. That makes sense.
Just one other point as well. So as you said, Cosmcs will be rivaling Starbucks. Starbucks also has a large stream of income through their loyalty scheme, where people have cards or apps where they top it up with money, and this enables them to buy drinks and food at Starbucks and also get certain rewards, such as maybe they get a free drink every now and then or access to Wi-Fi, etc. So this is also something that McDonald's would therefore be able to access as well. I think more people would be likely to join a Cosmcs loyalty scheme than perhaps a McDonald's loyalty scheme.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah,
I think that's another revenue stream.
Yeah. I can definitely see that happening as well. Is that like a new thing in Starbucks? Does it tend to be more drive-throughs than people sitting in, or is that? I haven't come across many Starbucks drive-thrus in the UK. I think it might be more commonplace in the US. So we'll see how Cosmcs does in the future, and yeah, we can keep you posted. So thanks everyone for joining us today on the Business Key Podcast. Do follow us on Instagram at Business Key Pod, and also we're on TikTok as well. Let us know your thought on Cosmcs and whether it's somewhere that you would get your coffees from. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.